In anime, there are many tests given to a protagonist so that they may advance and progress as a character. In Naruto, the Chunin Selection Exams offer the chance for Genin to be promoted to Chunin, and consists of a written test of 10 questions, followed by a physical trial in the Forest of Death. In JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 5 Golden Wind, Polpo's lighter test, in which one receives a lighter from the capo and must keep it lit for a whole 24 hours, is used to determine not only your loyalty to the Passione gang, but also where Polpo should place you among the ranks. In Kimetsu no Yaiba, Tanjiro-sensei Urokodaki tasks him with splitting a boulder with his sword. This is to prepare him to use enough force to slash through the neck of demons that over the years have devoured other students of his senseis, whose sword technique wasn't powerful enough. And in My Hero Academia Season 4 Episode 3, in order to gain acceptance to his hero agency for the work-study program, Deku must pass Sir Nighteye's test and prove his worth by retrieving a stamp from his hand. This is the story of how one simple test can lead us to bend fate. What's up guys, it's Truth Hero, and today we take a look at Sir Nighteye's test, and ask the question, can we truly bend fate? But before we do, let's first understand who Sir Nighteye is. His real name is Mirai Sasaki, and he possesses the quirk Foresight, which allows him to see someone's entire future for 1 hour with 100% accuracy if he simply touches and then makes eye contact with the person. He is also a bigger All Might otaku than Deku is, which can be seen from his extensive collection of All Might posters and memorabilia strewn about his office, and he even interned under the former symbol of peace until a falling out over one of his premonitions. Nighteye makes it quite clear that he disagrees with All Might's decision of choosing Deku as his successor, and does not deem him worthy of this position like he might with Mirio Togata, someone already interning under him. But since he's such a nice guy, he decides to humor Deku and actually agrees to take him on for the work study, if he can pass his test. If Deku can retrieve the stamp from his hand in the next 3 minutes using any methods and attacks he wants, then the job is his. Ball's in your court, Deku. Game on! Deku desperately tries to use his wit and speed to rip the stamp out of the clutches of Sir Nighteye, and as the seconds tick on, one by one, a painful truth becomes increasingly obvious. He's going to fail. Time's up, that's it. Your 3 minutes are done. But this is to be expected. Since Sir Nighteye can see Deku's every move before he even thinks and decides to make them, his efforts are completely frivolous. There is no physically possible way for him to retrieve the stamp. Honestly, Deku should have just thought of a better joke to make Nighteye laugh because that test of humor was much easier. However, just as Sir Nighteye's demeanor was stoic and intimidating to the public, but behind closed doors he actually valued humor and energy in heroes, there's more than meets the Nighteye when it comes to this test. You might be wondering why I opened this video with the 3 examples of tests that I did. Out of the myriad of trials in anime, why them? In a My Hero Academia video about a test, why didn't I include the UA entrance exam? Well, each of these 3 tests are not typical and are all designed to make the average examinee fail, and in doing so, in their own weird way, test something else about their takers, leading only those truly worthy to pass. The Chunin exam's written part has questions that are too difficult for the average genin to answer. Thus, the real objective is to cheat for the answers, by either copying a genin who does know, or finding the hidden Chunin embedded within the examinees. Thus, the exam tests a genin's critical thinking abilities, a key trait if one is to become a Chunin. Polpo's lighter test, despite being a test of loyalty, is also designed to get the user to cheat. Smuggling a lit lighter past prison security twice is virtually impossible, so one's ability to either bribe the prison guards or to get someone to relight the lighter, introducing them to the stand Black Sabbath, a virtual death sentence, tests not one's ability to keep a flame burning, but rather their craftiness in the underworld. Tanjiro's test of slicing the boulder was designed specifically for him to fail, as Urokodaki-sensei never intended for him to become a demon slayer since he had lost students and didn't see the point of losing any more children to the trials. Much to his sensei's surprise, Tanjiro passes by doing the impossible, thus proving his worth. And the same is true with Sir Nighteye's test. Grabbing a stamp from the hand of someone who can see your entire future second by second for the next hour in just 3 minutes is impossible. The only way you pass is if they let you. And that's just it. Sir Nighteye will not allow Deku to pass, because unless they can make his stomach hurt with the pain of laughter, he's not looking for interns, he's not looking for sidekicks. He's only looking for those that are truly worthy. And that is what Nighteye is testing. Remember, Nighteye never said Deku wouldn't be accepted if he couldn't retrieve the stamp, only that he wouldn't be a worthy successor of All Might in his eyes. Luckily, there are other ways to prove one's worth. Night-Eye's quirk, yes, allows Night-Eye to see someone's actions in the future, but not necessarily the purpose or motivations of said actions. As Night-Eye examines the torn up room after Deku fails, he notices something he hadn't predicted when he foresaw Deku flying around trying to take the stamp. His care for All Might. Not a single poster, not a single All Might item was out of place. And this wasn't by mistake. Deku even allowed himself to crash into a wall out of reverence for All Might, and Nighteye realizes that smile Deku had been practicing all along was genuine, and accepts him. The one thing that All Might did, no matter the situation, was smile, and always made sure that people felt that sense of hope. He was always aware of them. And now, in the midst of Night-Eye's emotional provocations and a test he knows is impossible, Deku, for all his frivolous efforts, maintains awareness of his surroundings and embodied a necessary trait for being the next symbol of peace. The stamp didn't matter. Night-Eye was always going to accept Deku for his work study. After all, he's a nice guy. But he wanted to see in that critical moment, and in the future, if Deku could prove his worth as All Might's successor. Night-Eye's stamp test asked the question, can we truly bend fate? And after seeing all the Final Destination movies, I'm not sure we can. If there was any way to counter his foresight and get the stamp, I certainly can't figure it out. After all, his predictions are never wrong. But this doesn't mean we have to bend the future, rather just people's outlooks on it. Deku had to fail the stamp test, and by failing it in his own glorious way, gain Night-Eye's favor through his actions only a Deku like him could do. I won't spoil anything, but bending fate will be a huge theme later on in this arc, and Deku just took his first steps towards learning how to do that. Now the question becomes, with his experience here, can he bend fate enough that it can go against the darkest of predictions? Night-Eye's test was also designed to show if someone could make fate their own, and everything that Deku's done up until this point as All Might's successor has been pushing him in the direction of making destiny his own. Deku must make the one-for-all quirk his own. He must use his legs rather than All Might's fists. He must not follow the path of anyone who used one-for-all before him. Put simply, Deku must stamp his own mark on destiny. People now more than ever are looking for that bright beacon, that bastion of peace that will give people across Japan and the world hope, and will shine so bright that there won't be any darkness left for villainy to hide in. And Night-Eye realizes that even though Deku doesn't smile like All Might, he does have the determination to be the greatest hero. While we're on the topic of tests, I must note that this wasn't the first time Deku failed, yet in doing so was deemed worthy. The UA entrance exam was a straightforward test. Cheating was not allowed, but it was designed to recognize all the things that make candidates true heroes. Rescue points and sacrificing one's own score and placement in the exam to actually be a hero and save someone in need is surely not overlooked by the teachers and staff of UA. Can we bend fate? Is it truly possible to change the future? Let me know your philosophies down below in the comments. And if you like My Hero Academia content, consider changing your fate for the better. Enroll at UA today by subscribing, and tap the bell so you're never late for class. Until next time, keep your future bright. Plus Ultra.